I'm Jennifer Bands, and today on Low Carb with Jennifer, I'm going to show you how to make this juicy air fryer chicken breast with the most amazing seasoning. I've got my apron on. Now let's make some air fryer chicken breast. So in my opinion, I am pretty well versed on air fryer recipes. The seasoning I'm going to use for this air fryer chicken breast recipe is very, very tasty. It's very popular. It's the same seasoning that I use on my air fryer chicken thighs recipe and my air fryer whole chicken recipe. And both of those recipes have over 300 5-star reviews. So you might want to make this recipe, I'm just saying. So we're going to get started. I've got 2 thin chicken breast cutlets. I bought these frozen, so they're a little on the thicker side. I bought frozen chicken breast cutlets, but that's okay. They'll just be extra juicy. And if you wanted to, you could lay some plastic wrap on these and pound them thinner. But they're, I think they're a pretty good size. So I'm just going to quickly assemble my seasoning. So I'm going to set my chicken aside. Our seasoning is pretty straightforward and simple. It is 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika. So this is a ½ teaspoon measure. 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. A ½ teaspoon of onion powder. A ½ teaspoon of dried oregano. And a ½ teaspoon of kosher salt. But if you're using a fine salt, you're only going to want to use like a heaping ¼ teaspoon. So I'm just going to stir all of that together with my little measuring spoon. And that's our seasoning mixture. This seasoning is perfect on any chicken. It is so good, even pork as well. Let's bring our chicken back over. Now we are going to use a little brush, basting brush, to put some oil on our chicken. Oil is going to help our chicken get a nice color, make it juicy. This is just a tablespoon of avocado oil. I'm going to use it to put the oil on both sides. And you may not need all of the oil. And now this oil will need to be thrown away. It's contaminated. We've got our chicken breasts all glistening with oil, so let's sprinkle on our seasonings. And you may not use all of this seasoning. It's enough for probably 4 chicken breasts, but it really just depends on how heavily you like your chicken seasoned. I've got my favorite air fryer here. This is the New Wave Brio. I believe this one is an 8-quart, but they've also got a 6-quart, which is great. Holds pretty much about the same amount. I think maybe they get a little deeper. So I always, when I'm cooking chicken, I really think that it's a good idea to preheat your air fryer. So you don't have to use the preheat setting or anything like that. You can just turn it on air fry for 5 minutes at 400 degrees, and that will do it. And then it'll start preheating. So one of the most common questions I get on my recipes is what setting you should use to cook your chicken or whatever it is, whatever recipe it is. What setting should you use? Should you use air fryer, broil, bake? And the setting does not matter. Whenever you choose a setting, all it does is change the time and the temperature. So whenever any recipe says cook your food in the air fryer at 400 degrees for 10 minutes, if you were to pick a setting, that's going to change your time and temperature. So it's not something that you need to do. Our air fryer is finished preheating. So now I'm just going to put the chicken in the air fryer. Sizzle. The cook time for your chicken breast is really going to depend on the thickness of your chicken breast. If your chicken breasts are really thin, they might take only 10 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes. If yours are thicker, even double the size, they're probably going to take double the amount of time. So I'm just going to start with 10 minutes. I like to flip halfway through, and then if I need to do more than 10 minutes, I'll do more than 10 minutes. But the best way to determine if your chicken is cooked through is to use a probe meat thermometer inserted into the chicken at the thickest point halfway through, and it needs to read about 155 or 160, and then you can pull it out of the air fryer and it will do some carryover cooking and it'll be perfectly safe to eat. So this chicken breast cooks at 375 for, I'm going to start with 10 minutes. Our chicken has been air frying for 10 minutes. Let's see what the temperature is. That's perfect. Right now it's reading 160. Let me check the other one. So now they're going to finish cooking. They just need 5 more degrees. Shouldn't take 5 minutes. And then I will show you how juicy and delicious this chicken is. Okay, our chicken has been resting for 5 minutes. It is the perfect temperature. I know it is going to be perfectly juicy. So let's cut into it. It's so juicy. I don't know if you can see that, but it is so juicy, delicious. Perfectly seasoned, so juicy. This is my go-to chicken breast recipe. This is the only way I make chicken in the air fryer with this seasoning. You've got to check out this recipe, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.